Hi, everyone. I am Lorri and I am excited to be here with Allana Pratt. And she is an amazing rock star. She's come to me highly referred from several different people. And she's an intimacy expert, a global media personality, and go-to authority for those who have suffered heartbreak and are ready to live unapologetically and attract an open-hearted, ideal relationship. Her vulnerability and courage landed a featured weekly column on the GoodMenProject. She's been chosen as an icon of influence and featured as a guest expert on the Huffington Post, People magazine, Forbes, CBS, ABC, Fox, and the Jenny McCarthy Show. This Ivy League grad is the author of 6 books and has interviewed Whoopi Goldberg, Alanis, Morissette, hosts the edgy podcast Intimate Conversations, where listeners learn to find the relationship that they deserve. A certified coach with close to 5 million, viewers on YouTube. Allana was asked by Leeza Gibbons to coach her during Dancing with the Stars while supporting several nonprofits. Allana is launching HeartMates Becoming the One to Find the One, a dating app and intimacy training all rolled into one. She offers private and group coaching so that her clients have a thriving, intimate relationship with themselves first, which naturally attracts and enhances their ideal partnerships. That is a lot. That is amazing. And I'm so grateful that you're here because, we all have started in one place. We all got started and always had our first coaching client. And I am so excited to hear about your journey. So tell me and tell the viewers all about how you got started.
How I got started as an intimacy expert. Well, it started more as a relationship coach.
Mm-hmm.
And even before I started charging money, I did volunteer coaching. And really, I did it because I was a hot mess. I really needed help. I really needed guidance on how to, well, at least to try to make my first marriage work, but it didn't. It improved it, but I made the choice out of a very insecure damsel in distress, just save me kind of place.
Mm-hmm.
And so I forgave myself, I forgave him. And then I moved on to the second marriage, but that one didn't go very well either. And I discovered that instead of grieving my mother's cancer and then death and, keeping my heart open, I closed my heart. And I thought, you know what, a man and a baby, then I don't have to feel this pain. Like that'll solve everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a mistake. So mom was dead and I was a single motherless mom. And I thought, okay, two strikes. I don't need 3 strikes and you're out. The only one in common here is me. So I really started to do this inner growth work and realized, hey, I'm really good at this, good at healing, good at discovering things, but also good at being that safe place for others. And I was asked to coach, head coach. And then when I finally had my next divorce and it was up to me again to be the sole breadwinner, I thought, okay, I'm going to put a shingle out. And I'll be honest, the very first time I put a shingle out saying, instead of, going to lunch with somebody and making them feel better, or them calling me and then making them feel better, or I need my Allana fix, your energy is so great hanging out with me, but I felt drained. I thought, okay, I'm going to have an equal exchange of energy here. I'm going to charge for my worth. So all those people that wanted my advice for free weren't terribly thrilled that I was now a coach. And I almost gave up because they were a little mean and they thought I did like a bait and switch on them.
Right. How did you navigate through that? Because I feel that a lot of women who have lots of gifts to offer also undervalue themselves. So how did you navigate through that?
Yeah, thank you. Well, I cried a lot. I cried when some people didn't want to be my friend anymore or my client, and they just left my life. And so I realized that from their point of view, me just being the friend that was there every night, every weekend, every, and then I said, actually, now I'd like us to make this official and actually do a coaching series that felt like a manipulation to them. So I forgave them and I got professional about it. And I got a website and I got my packages and I got my rates and I started doing little speeches. First, it started as a mom's group at my house, literally in my backyard. And two of those 5 women became clients. Yeah.
That's so cool. That is,
Yeah.
yeah,
And
that's,
then
I
little
love that.
speeches at all the different little places you can do speeches. I started doing that and inviting
Mm-hmm.
clients. And then I got that big Leeza Gibbons client, and I got to be on her radio show and coach her through Dancing with the Stars. And that was really quite early on. And it felt to me, quite honestly, like a sign. Like, this is hard. Don't give up. You've got a gift here.
Mm-hmm.
So while I still wasn't making a lot of money, still didn't really know what I was doing, that was like the universe saying, don't give up. And I'm so grateful for that. And it's been 15 years since I've been incorporated, when I
Wow.
learned that you have to, like, you have a real business, 5 years of finding my way.
Mm-hmm.
Now I was just going through my investor deck for my app, getting my first $500,000 of funding for that. And I was putting
Mm-hmm.
it together and I thought, dang, girl, you've come a long way
It's amazing.
in 20 years. So yeah, we all start with our first client, as you said.
That is so amazing. Now, how did Leeza Gibbons find you? That's a fascinating story in itself.
That's a great question. I have no memory of how I met her, because I was on her radio show for 2.5 years. It must have been isn't that funny? I don't remember. I just got I guess a referral or something to be on as a guest on her radio show. And I came in on a regular basis for feels like a good year.
Mm-hmm.
Until we got the call during our segment. All the producers came running into the studio and said, oh my God, Dancing with the Stars is on the line. You have to take the job, or you have to take it. And she was freaking out. And I was the coach. So I said, the guest coach. And I said, she doesn't have to do anything. She can choose to. And I said, love, what's your problem? What's your concern? What's your challenge? She said, my thighs in front of 52 million people. I'm turning 50 and I'm 50 right now. So I totally get it. It's one thing to go to a pool with your girlfriends with your thighs. It's another thing to show the world your thighs. And I said, okay, so you've got some time to practice and get in shape, but do you really want to show all women, don't live your dreams. Don't go have fun. Be afraid of what people think of your thighs. Really? Is that what you want to write on your tombstone? Or do you want to just live for the sake of living, experience for the sake of experiencing? And instead of being beautiful and comparing yourself to who's more beautiful, could we just all be beauty itself? All our own unique flowers in the garden. Could you be an inspiration for all women just to show up and go for it, whether you win or not? Whether people think your thighs are hot or not, could you just dance for the joy of it? That if you'll coach me. And I said, oh, it would be the most greatest privilege and honor. And so by the end, she started to have pleasure and safety in her body, sacred sensuality in a way she never had, from the inside out, not so much of the outside in. And that's a very big lesson of intimacy that I teach. I gave away my power to other people's opinions of me for decades. I was good enough if you thought I was. I was pretty if you thought I was. I was valuable if you thought I was. I never stopped to ask what I thought. When I first asked what I thought, I didn't like myself. I was quite insecure. Not good enough here, criticizing myself here, rejecting myself here, looking in the mirror, not looking in my beautiful eyes, looking at the wrinkles and looking at the problems. Like, I was focusing on the bad, not the good. And so as I began to heal on the inside and start to walk my talk of what I was teaching her, my career really started to flourish about this intimate relationship with ourself that I never had until I did. And something so beautiful happens when you have an intimate relationship with yourself. You start to have an intimate relationship with God, the divine, the universe. In science, we call it the field. It's a consciousness that's around us that cares about us, but it gives us free will. So if we say we suck, it's a vibration, and the universe goes, oh, that's too bad. And so it is.
It matches.
Right? Yeah. If we say, hey, I might have a couple of wobbles here and a couple of wrinkles there and a little bit of stretch marks, but hey, I'm pretty cool. The universe goes, and so it is. Yes, you are. And you will attract life, money, men, experiences, clients, you name it, value you if you do.
Oh, that's such a beautiful lesson. I just love everything you said, and in such alignment with that. And it's such a huge lesson. And I'm really grateful that you're teaching that. What a bright light you are. And with because that's just fascinating. And very true. And so simple, but not really. You know, it's so simple, but not really.
Simple,
And
but
so,
not easy.
but not easy. So with your, gosh, incredible things that you do, what is an average day for somebody who's in your shoes, this empowered boss lady? What's an average day look like? Because you're also a mom, is that correct?
I am, and that's actually a bit of a challenge for, I guess a challenge is a good word, but there's always a gift in every challenge, right?
Mm-hmm.
The second marriage, where I was divorced within a year, single motherless mom within a year, it followed with about a 12-year custody battle.
Ah.
Yeah. So I ended up choosing peace for our child by letting him live with his dad. So he's been living with his dad since he was 13. Court ended when I did that, and I just don't get to see him very much. So while I move forward as a boss lady, I miss my son terribly. And yet his peace is more important than my preference. And in time, I believe when he becomes a man, he will see the generosity and me taking the high road and hopefully have a new opinion of me rather than only getting one side of the story for quite a few years now. And that's my faith, is to send him love. Don't guilt trip him. Don't be a victim, and shine in my world. So my baby now is my business. And my babies are my clients, or my little chicks, and I'm the mother hen, or whatever you want to call it. So
I was a single parent for a while. My two boys, I have two older boys, Hunter and Levi, and they ended up going to Texas. And I live in California, Northern California, and they were in Texas for a few years. And I understand. I totally get it. And now they're grown. They're 26 and 28, and I'm extremely close to both of them. So I want, just as a sister to sister, to tell you that it's just, you know, that it does come full circle, and they do end up growing and seeing all the things that you did. So that's great. Sometimes you just need to walk. Yeah, I get that. And so with that being said, and you being able to invest so much time into your day, and which, you know, also has a beauty to it because you're very passionate about what you do. How do you find space for you in there? What do you do to balance your life?
Yeah, in general, it's been pretty balanced until I took on when COVID hit, and my clients were like, I'm even more isolated. I'm even more lonely, the single ones. Or the couples were like, I can't stand the way he breathes. I want to divorce him. You know, like there's so much conflict. I thought, okay, what can I do? So I created an one-year program, HeartMates for singles and HeartMates for couples, so that more people could be served by the work that I do. And yet when I started the singles, and I was talking to my developer friend, my app developer friend, and he was stuck in a hotel in Bombay in India. And he said, okay, Allana, this is the time. We're doing it now. Normally it was like a 200 grand investment to even begin. And he's like, $1,000 a day. Can you do it? I go, okay. How many days are we doing $1,000 a day? So it's been about 65 days so far.
Wow.
But we have created an app. And so my days normally begin around, 6:30 or so, doing my meditation and my stretching and my exercise and my supplements and my affirmations and all the rest of it. But now I'm on the phone with India at 6:30 in the morning. So I need to get up. I need to get up even earlier to have my morning practice. And then normally when I'm done, like we're doing our interview in the evening, normally that would be it. Time for a glass of wine, nice dinner. Now I'm on the phone with India again because they've woken up. They've been asleep all day while I work. And so right these days, I got to be honest, I'm really burning the candle at both ends for a short, not a marathon, like it's not a triathlon. It's like a sprint. We got to get through this longer period of time. So really it's just Sundays. Sundays are my day for me to sleep in. Those are the days I sleep in. And I literally sat my ass in my meditation area for 5 hours on and off last Sunday because I just needed to listen to my heart. I just needed to appreciate myself. I needed to have a good cry. And so I'm a successful woman, but I fail every day, several times a day. And I'm uncertain. And I feel stupid several times a day, every day with this whole new app. I've got so many employees, India, Philippines, New Zealand, America. I've got advisors. I've got lawyers and legal people teams. I've got like so many people that I'm managing. I've never managed like 15 people before. Learning about direct reports, learning how to be a better manager. So I'm way out of my comfort zone, tremendously uncomfortable. And so the practice of intimacy that I walk my talk is so important. I feel stupid and out of control, and I love and accept myself. I don't know where the next 65K is going to come from, and I love and accept myself. What if I do all this and it fails and everybody thinks I'm a loser? And I love and accept myself. When are you going to have time for love when you barely have time for yourself? And I love and accept myself. And your son isn't even calling you right now. And I love and accept myself. So it's a real walk my talk intimacy practice.
Oh, so true. All the things that you're walking through right now are going to be huge lessons and like a workbook for somebody else who's walking through it. This has been, you know what I mean? You walk through it and then you develop, you go, wow, this would be very powerful because I walked through the fire, got to the other side, and then you have this magical information to share with somebody, and it's just such a gift. And that's, that's amazing and hard. And hard.
Yeah.
My practice, I've asked about 20 different powerhouse and boss ladies what their practice is. And most of them have a morning practice because it's how you feed yourself. So you're an intimacy expert, and so Sunday, I'm glad I'm very glad that you have Sundays.
Yeah. Thank you. And
I
actually take off Friday at 4:15 or so, and I do my dance class and my massage. So every Friday evening, that's what I do for me as well. So yeah, I do my best, and I do my best to savor moments and not push through moments. When I'm not present and I'm worried about the future and I push now because I'm being drawn over here, I miss the whole thing. And then I'm stressed and exhausted. So when I can slow down and really savor each moment along the way as complete in and of itself, there's no stress, there's no pushing. I get to be fed more by the moment. And I find by the end of the day, I have more energy than when I stress and think of everything that's not done yet, or the worst case scenario, or why didn't I, and you should have, and all that kind. Like, I don't do that. I just be here with my clients, be here with my interviews, be here with the content that I'm recording, and celebrate the process. That's the name of my corporation, actually.
Wow. And you're looking at what's happening. You're celebrating the process.
Doing my best.
and that's just incredible that what you're teaching is actually what you're actually going through at the same time, which is pretty, and I think that's the best way to learn. Yeah. So this is an intense period of time for you. So where do you see yourself a year or 2 years, or do you try not to look that far ahead?
Well, I definitely am looking till the end of the year when I choose for the funding to come in, so that it's not all on me to keep the app going to the next level. And I'm looking forward to my personal assistant. I cannot tell you. I have all these people that I pay and they do jobs, but I still need to figure out to remember to pay the taxes, take out the trash, and make the doctor's appointments and like all that kind of stuff, and feed myself. So this next level of personal assistant, who's also supporting me with like social media, because how can I be on social media all day if I'm coaching people all day? It doesn't work, right? But she's also very, she's a theater major, a director. And so when I decided, so she'll be starting either like December or January, we'll see. But I said, how do you feel about directing my life? I need some help. Like, yeah. So we're having a lot of fun. And then my dream, when I'm calmer. Oh, so another thing to say, I've also certified 10 coaches in my method, the Allana Pratt method. And I hired, that was what also I did this past year. So I hired 5 of them. So all the clients that I'm renewing, you can renew at the same rate for half me, half my other coaches. Or you can pay me double for just me. It's up to you. And so far, everyone's like, I'll pay the same and I'll get at them because I still do group calls every week. They still get me all the time. It's fine. But that extra time, I'm going to be able to free up. And my dream has been to travel and see my clients, like give them a hug. And the ones who, as you said, with the app, it's the tag is become the one to find the one. which helps you keep the one. When we start empty, I need the one, I need to find the one. Isn't it interesting how we end up in divorce twice like me, right? So I want to go around meeting the singles and the ones who have fallen in love, tell their story on, social media, and inspire others. Wherever they are on the journey is perfect. And so that's my dream. And I thought, I'll have to wait another good year until I can do that. But I was just talking to my advisor for my investment deck and my brief and everything. He's like, okay, so now we need to put $3,000 a month aside for your crew and your travel, because you need to go meet clients every single month. We need to turn it into marketing videos. And I go, that's my dream. What do you mean?
Oh my God.
Now? We can do this now? He goes, it's called marketing. And I'm like, it's called my dream.
It's called manifesting.
So it's happening sooner. As soon as the first round of funding arrives, then I shall be living my dream with a personal assistant. And my coach is taking care of things. Like, it's really
so beautiful
happening. So yeah, I'm very blessed. Very blessed.
That's so blessed. I mean, that's just such a huge blessing, and you're duplicating yourself with your own process. So it's amazing.
Yeah.
I love all of that. So I was going to ask you, how do you find life-work balance? But I feel like you are driving so hard towards your goal that right now that is something that you're working on. You'll have that eventually, but when you're birthing a baby, it's like sometimes there is no balance. It's just the way it is. So what's the favorite part? What is your most favorite part of your day? And the most challenging part of your day?
Interesting question. I have been trained by a lot of great mentors. The one that helped me to stop being a victim and be a boss lady or a badass was the one who told me in every moment is equal support and equal challenge. And it really helped me with the moment that I looked at my dead mom, and there was so much pain, but there was also so much joy that she was out of pain and she was free. And so if I really opened my heart the whole way, I was feeling pain and joy all at the same time. And then the next weekend was my sister's wedding, and we got drunk because it was the only way we just pretended she was on vacation, not dead. I got pregnant. So with my very new husband at the time, who I decided I was going to marry so that I could have a man and a baby, remember? So 9 months later, there I am giving birth. And it's that same intense moment. And my child is looking at me for the very first time. And I am experiencing bliss like I've never had bliss before, mixed with, holy shit, how do I keep him alive? Oh my God. Like,
yes.
Right?
Yeah, your first one, you're like, yeah.
So there's another moment of total bliss and total fear all at once. And what it allows me to do, and I teach this to my clients, is we only suffer when we only look at half. Or we get addicted to the pleasure when we need only the good and we don't see the gifts in the challenge. Too much good, too much ice cream,
too much,
right? Or too much hanky panky, and you forget to pick up the kids because you're still in bed, like whatever. Even too much good is detrimental. And pain is not all bad. We become resilient and develop grit. So I do my best to see, long answer for you. Sorry about that. But I don't really have like a best time of the day or a worst time of the day, because every moment has everything. So I love my alone time so much. I love God so much. Like right now, I don't have a boyfriend or my son around, so I don't really have any masculine attention. But the masculine energy of God, like I don't believe God's a dude in the sky with a beard. I'm sorry if that offends somebody, but like I believe it's an energy, and the masculine essence of that energy, I allow to hold me and cradle me and let me just surrender. So my alone time is so nourishing. And yet the challenge of that is I'm all by myself. I don't want to be all by myself all day long every day. Right. So then I'm over with the clients or I'm over in an interview with you and I'm loving it and I'm connecting and I'm making a difference and I'm empowering people. Like I just right before you had a call where we've worked together for 3-4 years on and off, but we got to a trauma that had been the core of her anorexia. We found it today.
Oh, and wow.
We healed it today. And it was powerful.
Incredible.
So like, that was amazing. And now I get to come on and talk to you about it. Like I have shivers.
That's amazing.
But if I did this all day long for 12 hours or 15 hours, I would, I can't, again, there's pros and cons to this moment. I need to now rest after this and have some and replenish. Like, so every moment has a challenge and support. So I try to see the gift in the challenge and be grateful for the ease or the flow or the support, so that I can just be present and not be on that old roller coaster I used to be on. Gotta have some pleasure, no to the pain. That's what made me a damsel in distress. So the grace of a queen, I believe, can be with everything in all moments, be an allowance of everything in all moments, whether that moment is bliss or hell, and keep her heart open.
Wonderful.
Back to grace. Yeah.
And with you, because you created this, like, people don't hear about an intimacy expert. This is not a job that you would go to college for and get your degree. So how did this happen? Like, because I can clearly see that you're passionate about it, and that you're also a catalyst for great transformation for the people that you're working with. And I also feel that God works directly through you. Like, you have energy from the top of your head, and I can kind of almost see it,
Thank you.
And so how did you, clearly you're supposed to be doing this work. So how did that happen?
Yeah. Well, I started off when I was first coaching Leeza Gibbons back then. I was the sexy mom expert.
That's awesome.
When mama's happy, everybody's happy. That's how I started.
Awesome.
Then moms in general, we don't spend on ourselves. We spend on our kids, right? So it was not a very good business model. So I moved to single women who wanted to find the one. So I became a relationship expert. And then, as I was becoming very bitter with my ex-husband going through court, the universe gave me a lot of male clients. And I learned to be the one, the divine feminine that would awaken masculine grandeur, his nobility, rather than judge or emasculate like their wounds, their wounded hearts. So I learned how to do that. And then the thread throughout the whole thing was this intimate relationship with themselves, this core intimate. And I have this ability to take people into the darkest dark, and I'm not scared, because I've been to my darkest dark, and I found little Allana who needed some love, and I brought her home. So I go in there and I find wounded little parts and I bring them home. And thank you for seeing that I'm a channel. I don't try for my brain to fix. I just be the facilitator of this healing energy. I have a lot of skills. I have a lot of certifications. I know what I'm doing. I've been at this for 20 years, so lots of that. But really, it's an art. Do they need some humor? Do they need me just to shut the fuck up? Do they need a really intense process? Do they need a story? Do they need something naughty? Do they need me to drop an F-bomb? Do they what? And I just dance with the energy, because I can see the wounded heart back there. And there's all these strategies and sabotaging patterns and don't hurt me. One foot's on the brake, one foot's on the gas. This kind. I just play. I play till I get in.
Yeah, I can see that. And, lots of people have certifications, but they don't have the natural gift that you've nurtured. And that also, it seems like it's part of who you are. And it sounds like it's come through really loud and clear the more that you went through your own process, right?
Yeah. And bottom line is, I love people. I coach them, but I love them.
It's so, gosh, everybody needs an Allana in their life. They do. So we would just want to hang out with you and go, can we talk about things? And so that's so great.
That's so kind.
Well, it's true. And I'm going to do some, I want to ask you one more kind of serious question, then I'll do some rapid fire fun things. Yeah. But how do you work through self-doubt or fear?
I call it I process it. So we can't ever get rid of energy. A lot of us really smart women think we could just push away the fear, push away the shame, push, but you can't push away you. So we're pushing away a part of ourselves, and it grows over time. And so when you lean in to the fire and you take that low vibrational energy through a process, it turns into high vibrational energy: pain, confidence, shame, allowance, sadness, forgiveness, right? Fear, first I think would be like allowance, and then courage, bravery, and action, right? So whenever I'm doubtful or afraid, I go into a process and I find the part of me, the aspect of me, the little Allana. Maybe it's a body part, maybe it's energy stuck in my body. It could be somatic in nature. And I just ask questions. Hey, sweet thing, what's going on? Tell me more.
Mm-hmm.
Even every morning and every night, I have a practice, hand on the heart, hand on the belly or yoni. And I say, hey, sweet thing, what have I not slowed down enough to hear you say? And because I do it every morning and night, the answer is right there. In the beginning, it was like, I'm not telling you. You ignore me all the time. I tell you, and then you have a glass of wine and like forget about me. Like, so it's taken practice to get this connected to myself.
Yeah.
But my doubt, sometimes my doubt is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Do some more checking on this one. This one's not lining up. Sometimes my doubt is unhealthy, like a you're not good enough. In which case process that into who cares if we fail or succeed. We're not doing this to be good enough. We're doing this to express ourselves. We're doing this to be alive. Who cares about the result? So I need to help that part of me. But sometimes my doubt is healthy. It's saying not lining up. Trust your intuition.
Love that differentiation. That was beautifully said. So let's do some fun questions. So you haven't had a vacation in a while. Where will be your first vacation?
To the pool on Sunday. I'm staying at a beautiful private pool. I get to be naked in the back. It's so fun. No, but my plan is to move to Tahoe in the new year. So I have a week before that exodus. So I've been thinking about going to like one of those take care of your body, eat healthy, let somebody cook for you and exercise every day and meditate and read books kind of place for like a week. So
wonderful. I do soul camps in Tahoe. I just came back from Lake Tahoe and I do women's retreats up there. We'll have to talk.
We'll have to talk. Perfect.
Which is exactly that. We hike, we eat, we do yoga, we do meditation. So I just literally just did what you just said.
Super great.
They're awesome. And
how funny that it was in Tahoe.
It's in awesome. Tahoe, yeah, which is gorgeous.
Yes.
And so what are you, I was going to ask you, are you a mountains or beach person?
Mountains.
And are you a morning or night person?
Kind of both, but more heavier on the morning.
Heavier on the morning. Yeah. A tattoo or no tattoo?
I want one, but I don't have one.
Okay. That's awesome. It's time to get one.
I think so.
A dog or cat?
Cat. She's right there. Oh, you can't.
Oh, she's right there. Favorite binge food?
Tortilla chips.
Tortilla chips. Oh yeah, that sounds good. And are you a mystery, sci-fi, or romantic comedy?
Romantic comedy.
Yeah. And then if you could bring anything or anyone to a desert island, what would you bring?
Oh, probably my son.
Oh, yeah. I so get that.
Yeah.
I said, when I do my meditation, I see him and I send a pink cord to my son he's in Europe. I totally understand. Yeah. So any words of wisdom for someone who's just getting started?
In their business? Yeah. You're the only one that can do what you're here to do. No one else could, can, or will be able to do what you are here to do. So it's not about competition. It's not about how big, how small. It's just that your song must be sung or it will die inside you. So friggin' do it.
Love that. We're on that note, we are going to wrap up this wonderful energy. I can't believe that you had the energy to do this amazing interview with all that you gave today. You're just a powerhouse, really, and just a gift. Such a ray of sunshine. I get all of that from you, and I'm excited to see what you do next. I'm hoping that I get to meet you one day. You're just beautiful inside and out.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much for this privilege and honor and for your beautiful reflection. And until the next Tahoe Women's whatever. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Have a beautiful night and thank you for having me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Bye.